Welcome to Fanboys Live and the Retro Review, hosted here on my channel, the Magic Lasso channel. I am Ryan, aka Magic Lasso, and I appreciate you so much stopping by to join us for another review of the DC news of the week, plus diving back to some of the history of the books that they've published throughout all these great decades. They brought us so many great stories and a few that weren't so great. We'll see which ones we have to talk about in tonight's show. I'm joined by fanboy Tony Fett. How are you, Tony?
Another day in paradise. Another day in paradise. Another warm Sunday here in central Pennsylvania. So, other than that, the weather was fine. So, happy to be here.
Yeah, awesome to have you here. I'm excited about what we're going to talk about this evening. One thing, too, for those that are watching on the rewind, I especially want to thank you for choosing to, and in a moment, we'll talk about the people who are live in the chat with us. But you on the rewind, I especially want to thank you for choosing to watch the show. I know that your time is very valuable. I have to say, too, here on my channel, how happy I've been with how things have progressed. My video that I dropped this past week, it was a half price books haul, and I was so pleased with the amount of views that video has gotten. And obviously, that's all of your doing. So thank you so much for being such a great supporter of mine, too. Before the stream ends, we are going to talk about a giveaway that's coming to my channel this upcoming week. So we'll be discussing that in a little bit too. So for those on the rewind, thank you so very much. Now turning to those who have made it here live in the chat with us, Muabunga to Ruben Guzman.
What's up, Ruben?
He always says Cowabunga, so I always say Muabunga back to him.
Muabunga.
And then look who's here. Sharon is here. I think Sharon is kidless right now, if I'm correct.
Sharon is what?
She's kidless. The kiddos.
Okay.
The kiddos are in Florida on a book tour, I think, which I hope they're having huge success. And I bet she's just partying in her nightgown. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. So
I catch a lot of her content on Instagram. So I know she's a published author, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Rena is her daughter. So,
Rena, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Rena, yeah.
And sorry, Sharon, I know you're not the biggest fan, but no, she'll be a fan of that, Tony. But me, I kind of struck out. So let's say hello to Christy. You know what? I've just got this weirdest feeling right now that Christy is in the kitchen.
Let me check. I think you're right.
Your superpowers are working.
My superpowers are on point today.
That is awesome. Hey, we got a new person showing up there. I was on a stream with him earlier today. So I'm going to try to pronounce this, and I apologize. I know I heard you pronounce it earlier today. I am Aspis. I know there's something about the Y as an I or something like that. I remember him talking about that. I'm sorry. I'm sure I completely mispronounced that. And by the way, I know that you were interested in joining the show at some time. And from what I understand in talking with Tony, we're going to have some type of almost like an open mic night in a way. And maybe we can get you on that stream then too. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. So
thank you for stopping by. I hope that you enjoy the show that we have for you tonight. So, it jumped on me. But here's somebody that is such a great supporter and has been going live as well on his own channel, and that's Noshhead. So Noshhead, it's great to have you here. The kiddos are around and the wife too. I say hi to them. But go and check out his content as well as all of the channels that we're mentioning as well, and sub them up too and show some support to them. So very great supporter of my channel. Happy to have you here tonight.
Give everybody a sub, that's for sure.
Yeah, and here's a man
who needs no introduction.
No introduction. He is the only person to my knowledge that has actually drawn pictures of me.
Yeah, at least that I know of.
At least that I know. I mean, now Fu has like a voodoo doll of me, but that's different. You know, I mean, when he sticks the little pin in
I was at his house. You should see the doll he has for Tim.
Oh boy. He probably has one for Tim, one for Tom, and one for Tamantha.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of, that's exactly what Squatchy wants to know. Where in the hell is the furry, the Tim, the Tom, and the Tamantha?
I think they all have family obligations. I know Comic Fu, he's only like an hour away from me right now. So he's...
You should have gone, dragged him by the hair.
Yeah, I know he's hanging out with his folks, so we'll let him be. He's in the city of brotherly love, so...
his love of cream cheese shows no sign of ending. BTC Moon Guy, DC content. Yeah, that's what we got for you tonight. Super stoked that you're here for it.
Always.
Oh, who gets picked on a lot on this show? Justin Nerd 65. And where is he at, Tony?
He's probably somewhere at well, we know he's not at KFC or Chick-fil-A. He's not at Chick-fil-A. We do know that.
No, he's at
and
KFC.
if he is, he's at KFC. But if he says he's at Chick-fil-A, he's either fibbing or it's breaking and entering.
That could be. You know, he might have a strong love of Polynesian sauce.
True.
So thank you for the compliment on my shirt, Nosh. I appreciate that. The suggestion that we should have tracked him down and stole his fursuit.
What I was trying to do when I was hanging out with Comic Food was steal the Food Trooper.
I wish. I want that Food Trooper. I want to keep it.
What I wanted to do was take the Food Trooper and pass it around the community, and everyone draw something on him. And then I have like this spray on clear, so it'll be like a nice protective thing, and then give it back.
I already know what I would draw on the Food Trooper. Should I keep that to myself, or is that a public?
It's up to you, man. I don't know if it'll ever happen, so it's kind of let us know.
After I tell it, it definitely probably won't happen. But I would get a hold of a Sharpie, and on the Food Trooper's bottom, I would write "exit only." Okay.
That works. Yeah, that works. That's cool.
And first of all, the Food Trooper needs to have his own channel.
Yes.
His own YouTube channel. He definitely does. And I mean, and for those that don't know, the Food Trooper, except for this last couple weeks, gets slow danced with by Foo each Friday night.
It does. You're right. Yeah. It happens.
Here we have Copy 801, our good friend, and he and I were chatting a little bit ago, and I know that he's excited for the story that I picked tonight because he's a big Justice Society fan.
Oh, so, very cool.
Yeah, so those are who we have joining us live right now. We appreciate you so much. Please, everyone, sub everybody up, especially if you don't know one another. Make some new friends in this community. Absolutely. Because there's a lot of great people to get to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in full confession, I really didn't research any DC news at all. So what do you have for us?
Some cool news out of HBO Max. Madame Xanadu is getting a standalone live action series, which is kind of cool.
I did hear that, and when I read that, I thought to myself, Tony picked up that comic book at the right time, right before the announcement. So
yeah, and I still got to get my hands on A Doorway to Nightmare #1, but it's the next best thing. It's her first solo appearance in a comic book. And that's self-titled, which is kind of neat. But the Holy Grail is Doorway to Nightmare #1. We don't know who casting-wise is going to be Madame Xanadu. They've announced that J.J. Abrams is going to executive produce, and his production company, Bad Robot, is involved. So we'll see. And Angela Robinson is set to direct.
Now, I know that Hollywood usually doesn't, especially on new projects like this, they don't like to cast established actresses or older actresses, which I don't think is right. I mean, an actress is a good actress regardless of how old she is or how old she looks or blah, blah, blah. Tell me if I'm really off on this, okay? What would you think? And I know, let me preface this by saying, in a million years, I know this is not going to happen. What would you think if they really took an older demographic and cast Cher as Madame Xanadu? What do you think about that?
Maybe like in an Elseworlds, like single episode, or like maybe cast her as like an old Madame Xanadu, even though that doesn't make sense because Madame Xanadu is hundreds of years old.
Yeah. So Cher.
You know what? Do it. Do it. It makes sense. Do it. Do it. But yeah, I'm a big Magic fan, so I'm excited for what HBO Max has to offer. So far, we have confirmed Justice League Dark live action, confirmed Constantine live action, confirmed Zatanna live action, and now confirmed Madame Xanadu live action. So if you're a big Magic fan like me, the future is looking pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, whether or not that's going to be great content is a completely different story.
I mean, this could be one of those like Swamp Thing where as soon as the first episode drops, the series we already know the series is done for. You know,
oh man, my wife and I just rewatched Swamp Thing.
I need to watch it.
It was so good, and the fact that season 2 is never going to happen, it sucks because you had Swamp Thing, you had Madame Xanadu, you had the Blue Devil, you had the Phantom Stranger, all in one series together. And I can only imagine if Swamp Thing got a season 2, they would have brought on some form of John Constantine, which would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Big shame that we're going to miss out on that for sure.
Yeah, and hello to Man Cave Comics, who is joining us. So always great to have Man Cave here with us. That's
I like his little picture.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
old school like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and we have some other folks that have popped in as well, like Fanboy himself, Flashpoint Comics. So good to have you here. And don't want to forget Fuzzy Dunlop.
Show us your Constantine, Tony. Listen, bro. No. I can't because it doesn't exist in my collection yet.
And Man Cave saying it's a sin what they did to Swamp Thing. So
absolute tragedy. And I forget the gentleman's name who played Swamp Thing, like in the Swamp Thing suit, but dude, they nailed it with him. Abby Arcane, I thought she was a great cast. I'm not familiar with that actress, but that was a great one.
Yeah, and Just a Nerd is asking, why did it get canceled?
It got canceled like before it even aired, really.
I think the first episode dropped. It was either like the day before the first episode dropped or the day of or the day after. They announced.
I thought it was before that. I don't remember. That was years ago. But I heard it got canceled because where it was filmed, one of the Carolinas, I don't remember which one, they were going to give DC a big tax break, to hire local, stuff like that. But they foobarred a decimal point. So instead of owing this much in taxes, they ended up having to owe this much in taxes. So DC like immediately pulled the plug and said it wasn't worth it. And it's a shame.
Yeah. And Nash also adding that he was on the edge of his seat with that show.
They leave you. I'm not going to spoil it, but obviously a big season finale, ended at the end of season 1. Really, they set up season 2 and they leave you on a big cliffhanger, and then like, hey, just kidding, everybody, it's canceled. But who knows? Maybe they'll give us a season 2, which would be great. But if Swamp Thing gets a season 2, Constantine, the old show on NBC that never got a season 2. Totally needs a season 2.
He got an animated movie though.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah,
that's good. Don't get me wrong. Matt Ryan is a great Constantine, and he's like, now when I read Constantine, like I hear his voice in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame he never got one either.
Yeah. You have any other DC news for us? What else is going on with
Wonder Woman Black and Gold came out.
It did. I bought all 4 covers, and the other 2 retailer exclusives I'm waiting. They have one is shipped, and I'm waiting for the other one to ship.
Ooh,
so
what's the retailer exclusive?
Warren, is it Lau, Lauwe? He has this one cover that is just amazing. I mean, it looks like a picture. It's so amazing. And I can't remember the artist for the other one. I believe it was a female artist too, and hers was very nice as well. So, did you pick one up?
I did. I just got. They were limited on copies, so I just got like the cover B. I was hoping for the 1 in 25 retailer variant, but didn't happen. But that's okay. I could buy it for 4 times the price on eBay if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that.
Gotcha.
I'm going to keep it because I believe the writer is going to be at Baltimore this year. So I'm going to hold on to it, and hopefully that actually happens.
There's several different stories inside. There's like maybe 5 or 6 stories inside.
Yeah.
The first story didn't so much make sense to me. It was just kind of a little out there. But there's a couple stories. One in particular that is set in the present as well as back in World War II at the same time. It's kind of a flashback. That story was so good that I wish it had been expanded upon.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to check that out. That sounds like
Yeah.
a good one. But other than that, it has been a slow news weekend. The big one is obviously Madame Xanadu, but that's it really. Talking about people are making big waves about the Batman Catwoman debacle and Pride covers really, but that's it for big, super important, cool news, really.
Do we know why? And I asked my LCS and they didn't have the answer to this. And you might know, you might not know, but maybe someone in the chat does. Does anyone know why Wonder Woman, and I believe there was another title, perhaps Flash, double shipped this month? And they're double shipping again in August. So, we went back to single month shipping 4 months ago. And then in June, Wonder Woman double shipped. In July, it's just one. And then in August, it's double shipping again. Does anyone happen to know why?
Maybe it has something to do with the, I can't imagine it would, but the big Discovery media merge.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine it taking that kind of effect so fast, but I mean,
yeah.
Other than that, I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
It's interesting though, a double ship. I mean, that's great.
Yeah,
but,
not a complaint. It was just curious that we just got done with the double shipping, and it just was a little bit of a surprise. So, and then double shipping in June and double shipping in August, but not in July. Just different. So,
yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some more stories.
Yeah, could be. So, well, as we wrap up the news portion, I guess we segue into the retro review. If you've been on my Instagram, you know what I'm talking about tonight, but I have no idea what you have picked, Tony.
You know what? Lately I've been doing magic themes. I think I'm going to kind of stick with the mystic characters. And I have a really lesser known character who did appear in the Arrowverse for a brief period of time. Season 2, episode 3 or 4, maybe not quite that early, but I'll share my screen here. Which one is it? I want this one. It is. Oh, maybe not. He bumped himself out of the chat. There it is. Okay, that's right. Ragman #1. This is the first appearance of Ragman and his first issue, so that's kind of cool. But this one was surprisingly short.
Okay.
It just kind of sets up like a story and goes briefly into his origin. And what was cool about this story is it gets pretty dark on the first page. So this mysterious gentleman pays this kid like, hey, I'll give you $0.25, if you can bounce this ball into that big red car. So she tries it, and it's actually an explosive. So it blows up the car, hurts the little girl, like right away. That's fairly dark. But sure. We have this next page. We have this beautiful Ragman spread. Ragman is chasing these criminals up on the roof. And Ragman has, let me back up. For those of you who don't know Ragman, he's a very mysterious character. He's got the agility of Batman, which means he can do all the flips and the jumps or whatever. He's got the strength of Superman in a way, but he's kind of invincible. And every time he dies, he gets a different rag tattooed on his body somewhere. There's been a couple different versions of Ragman, but this is the one that we're talking about here. So these bad guys are shooting him, and there's a line that one of them says right here, hey, Ragman's in the crossfire, everybody open up. But as they're shooting him, the bullets, there's another line right here, the bullets are melting. Like they hit his cloak and they just melt. They don't shoot through it. They melt straight up, which I thought was pretty good. We can see here one of the criminals is hanging off the side of the roof, and Ragman grabs him and then just kind of like rips a piece of him off, or a piece of his shirt, I mean, and the guy falls down, plummets to his death, which is pretty cool. And the store, like the headquarters for Ragman, is called Rags and Tatters. What's unique and interesting about Ragman is he's one of the, I think he's only one of 2 or 3 characters in the DC universe that are open and practicing Jews, which is kind of cool. Brings a little bit of diversity into the DC universe. But his dad was Ragman. Like his ancestors were Ragman, so they passed down the suit through generation to generation. And when you wear the suit, like you're pretty much invincible. Like you can be killed, but you'll just instantly be resurrected, which is why you get the tattered look. But someone secretly photographed them having this epic battle on the roof. But the criminals, I guess this underground crime syndicate, knows exactly who it was. So they actually go into, where is it? They actually go into the store, hold everybody hostage, and wrap them up in these like wires. They're electric wires, and they're going to electrocute people one at a time until they get the information that they need. And here in this panel, you see people being actively electrocuted. And we cut down here to, I can never remember this guy's name, the new Ragman. His first name is Roy, spelled R-O-R-Y, touches his dad, who's in this big group of people, and they all get electrocuted. But he lives because he had his Ragman suit nearby, and it was kind of touching him at the same time. So he died, but technically was brought back to life. But now, in true comic book form, he had a loved one killed by a group of villains, and now he's set out for revenge. And Man Cave brought up a good point, some Joe Kubert goodness. Yeah, this was a Joe Kubert title. So this came out in 1975, I believe.
Yep.
But there's a lot of
cool how long did this series last?
I don't know.
It's got to be single-digit issues. Like I want to say like 7. 6,
I was going to say
7 or 8.
5 and 7. I think is when this stopped. But
okay, so this would have been over before, as I referenced many times on my channel and many times on Fanboys, the big DC implosion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good character. Like I said, he has been in Arrowverse for a little while, and I want to say recently, but I guess it's maybe not that recent. He was part of the Shadow Pact in Day of Vengeance from I think it was 2005 or 2006. So Shadow Pact was him, the Enchantress, Nightmaster, and the Spectre. All these super cool mystical characters, which kind of coincide. It's like the Justice Society to the Justice League. Shadow Pact is that to Justice League Dark.
So there must be a connection between Ragman and Batman, because my first knowledge of Ragman, he appeared in Batman Family. I want to say it was in their final issue, number 20, before those transitioned over to Detective Comics. Is he in Gotham? Is that his connection to it?
I know sometimes he goes into Gotham, but in this specific issue, I don't believe they give a city for some reason. But I know him and Batman have crossed paths many times.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I like the banter that they've had in the past. I don't recall, even on the newspaper, it doesn't say Gotham Gazette or anything. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this is Gotham.
Okay.
But it's funny because other issues later on goes a little bit further in depth into the origin of Ragman, and it talks, because remember, he's an open practicing Jew and his whole family is Jewish, and they talk about the history of Ragman in the Second World War, helping to fight the Nazis and help some of the fleeing Jews escape Europe, which is a really good story within itself. Maybe we'll get there another day, but this is a really cool character, very undervalued in my opinion, because of he can do so much. In fact, Superman called him, I forget what issue it was. It was in the 70s or 80s, but Superman was talking about Ragman and said that he didn't really want to hang out with Ragman because he gave him the creeps. So if you can scare Superman, there's something to say.
Yeah, I thought he was a great character too, and had much more storyline or potential than was used on the CW Arrowverse when he was on Arrow. So
yeah,
and you know, they had on there, which I don't think is canon with the comic books, but they had a character there that kind of ended up killing or taking out a city, you know, when they rerouted this atomic bomb, and he was one of the few survivors of it. So there was a little bit of, now he's working with this character who kind of is responsible for his family and his friends not being alive anymore. And that was a good dynamic that I never thought that got its full oomph.
Yeah. And they on the CW, they give him a little bit darker operating space, really. Like he'll straight up just kill people, which obviously is a no-no in the Justice League. But even in the Arrow verse episodes he was in, he does kill people in that series, which is unique. But that was Ragman #1. Super undervalued character, in my opinion. Definitely underutilized as well. But I know he's at least been, I see Just a Nerd put out, he's close to 200 appearances. That's, you think of all the books DC has ever printed, and he's only in 200 of those.
Yeah. And I mean, this character goes back to the 70s too. So only 200 times since the 70s. I mean, there's not, you know, there's a few characters that don't have that many, but not many.
Not many.
Poor old ISIS. But that's ISIS, the superhero, not the terrorist organization. Always want to make sure I clarify that. Yeah,
the ISIS we like and the ISIS we wish would get bombed back to the Stone Age. Yes. Two different ones, by the way.
Yeah, completely two different things. So, but man, your pick certainly had a lot of reaction from the chat. So I think that you chose well. I was very interested in what you had to say. It looks like we had some research going on by our live chatters. So that was awesome.
Yeah, and I do have myself a nice copy. This one's not autographed, obviously. Joe Kubert passed away before my time, but I do happen to have one. I definitely want to get this one slabbed because I'm trying to do like a magic theme. I want to get like all the big magic users, you know, slabbed. But speaking of which, you know, this episode is not sponsored at all by anybody.
No. So is that the only issue of that 5-issue? And it wasn't a limited series. This was supposed to be an ongoing series, from my understanding.
Yeah, I have.
This was before the era. You have all 5.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have any, but I'll have to get some. But I highly do recommend that you look into that Batman Family #20 with Ragman. He's there on the cover, and it's a great wraparound cover too.
Very affordable key, by the way. You can find this maybe not in the dollar bin, but in the $5 to $10 for sure.
Yeah, cool. Anything else that you'd like to add in about Ragman or your pick or your selection?
Maybe we'll get lucky and see him in some kind of Justice League Dark or Madame Xanadu story.
Yeah.
Some kind of live action other than the terrible CW one.
Yeah. Good character. Very underused character, but a good character.
For sure.
As I segue into my retro review, which is going to be for this book, and I'll go big in a moment, but while I have you here, Tony, I do want to kind of talk about what was going on at this time, which was 1986. And this issue is taking care of a huge problem that DC had. And this is right after Crisis on Infinite Earths had finished up. And one of the characters that, there are a few characters, you think of Huntress as one, Donna Troy as another one. Well, Fury had a huge problem, so to say. What do you do with Fury? She's supposed to be the daughter of the Earth 2 Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. And now the Earth 2 Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor don't exist because of Crisis on Infinite Earths. So this issue essentially is their solution or their fix to it. So keep that in mind as we talk about my retro review here for Infinity Inc. issue number 27. Roy and Danny Thomas, the writers. Todd McFarlane is our artist for this. You see Paradise Island Lost. So the story is called Memories. And as we start out, we have Infinity Inc. returning back from collecting Mr. Bones in a previous issue. And what happens is Fury, she feels like she's going to pass out. And actually she does in that panel up there. So Star Spangled Kid orders her, get some rest, go lay down. You've been under a lot of strain lately. So she goes to lay down and she starts to think, bad enough that I can't get along with my fiance. Now my state of mind is even affecting my work. But how am I supposed to react with my parents gone, not dead, but worse, as if they've never existed in the first place? But, she says, I have memories and no one can take those memories from me. Some memories are stronger than others. And that takes us back to her childhood. And she's 12 years old at this time. This is before the Earth 2 Wonder Woman's identity has been revealed to the world. And the Justice Society is being honored at the Capitol. So they're meeting at Wonder Woman's house. Steve Trevor is gone on a mission at this time. They're meeting at her house and they're going to travel over to the Capitol together. So first to arrive is Adam, and he has brought his grandson, Al Rothstein, who of course would become Nuklon on the Infinity Inc. So he arrives first, and Wonder Woman brings Lyda down. And so Lyda comes bouncing down and she's kind of like, oh, I'm babysitting him because, he's kind of small. And she's like, well, what time do you want him to bed? Only to find out that he is actually a few months older than her. So a little bit of a shocker. Hawkman and Hawkgirl are next to arrive with their son, Hector Hall, who, of course, in Infinity Inc. is Silver Scarab and is Lyda's fiance. And as you can kind of see when I can figure out the thing, it's love at first sight in that panel. She sees him and the heart is going bumpity, 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 bumpity. She likes what she sees there. So he's kind of not girl crazy at this moment in his life. So then we see that we have Rick Tyler arriving, and he is Hourman's son, who becomes the new Hourman in Infinity Inc. The JSA takes off, and the kids are left to their own devices. Wonder Woman says there's pizza that they can heat up. They're kind of excited about that. But as they start to get to know each other, because this is the first meeting of these kids that would end up being, part of the nucleus of this group, as they start to meet each other, one of them says, hey, doesn't your mom have a trophy room? And they're like, yeah, let's go look at it. Let's go check it out. So they head to Wonder Woman's trophy room. And they're kind of marveling at all of the things that they have in there. I think it's kind of neat that you see there's one of Cheetah's costumes in there. And Lyda talks about how someday she's going to grow up and she's going to be a Wonder Woman. And she pulls out her mother's original costume. And Hector makes the comment, too, that Lyda very much does not appreciate how you could drop a dozen lizards down the front of that blouse and they still wouldn't be crowded. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, of course, you're going to start playing with the magic lasso. And in that, Al Rothenstein gets roped and they kind of ask him, what's your biggest fear? And he talks about how it's flying. And it's always been since his dad was killed in Vietnam, his helicopter crashed and he never even got to know him. Well, that kind of, they kind of feel bad for making that kid remember that. So they say, we got to lighten the mood. Let's play baseball. So they head to get some baseball equipment, and outside they go to play some ball. Well, as they're playing ball, Hector decides to put a little ninth medal from his dad, Hawkman, on that baseball. So that thing starts to fly when it hits, and it ain't coming back down. So Lyda, originally has the ball and she realizes this isn't coming back down. And they're like, you need to drop the ball. You're going to get hurt. She drops the ball and they're worried for a second that she might be dead. And then they realize we got to get this ninth medal back. We've got to get this baseball back. How are we going to do that? You need an invisible jet to do that. So Lyda says, hop in. We're going for a spin. We're going to get this baseball back. So in the invisible jet they go. They recover the baseball. And then all of a sudden, what starts happening with the jet? It starts going crazy. And it's making all loop-de-loops, and it's headed right towards the Capitol. That's not good. So, can you say busted? because when they took off in the jet, that alerted Wonder Woman via her tiara, and Wonder Woman took control to bring the jet to them because she didn't know exactly what was going on. She just knew that it wasn't supposed to be going on. So the kids are busted. They're in trouble. They're sent home. They had to interrupt their parents who were, being honored by the government for their work. And that's kind of the end of her flashback. And she sits there and she has her Kanga named Trouble laying on the bed with her, and tears are falling down her cheek. And you have Brainwave who's witnessing this, and you can kind of tell that Brainwave has feelings for her even though she's engaged to someone else, and he hates seeing Lyta suffer. So Brainwave says, maybe you can keep your desperate sadness from the others, even from Hector, but not from Brainwave, because I know too much. I care too much. That's my talent and my curse. The reason I left Infinity once. Maybe it's wrong, Lyta Trevor, but I want to help you if I can. And we turn the page to our final page. He uses her powers to make her forget of Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman, her parents, to try. He's doing it with good intentions. But what happens from this moment on is that's the end of the original Wonder Woman in DC continuity. So Lyta Trevor is left not knowing who she is. They eventually come up with an origin story that she's the daughter of the Golden Age Fury, and they eventually would change that into saying that she was Miss America's daughter. And that's how they did it. But I mean, it would be decades later before we finally would see the Golden Age Wonder Woman back in DC, but this was their fix. But to my knowledge, and I hope that Copy might know this for sure. I know Tim's not here. I think Tim would have known this. I don't think that they ever dealt with the fact of his decision. This was because they didn't want to talk about Wonder Woman again. That was a problem post-crisis. Wonder Woman wasn't supposed to exist. The Wonder Woman was the one that just arrived in 1987, So I think that I don't think that they ever dealt with a follow-up on this. And I think that was a missed thread, a missed opportunity, because she didn't consult to this. He just did it. And, from this moment on, I think he might remember that he did it, but the other Infinity Inc. members don't remember either that she was Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor's child. She doesn't know her past. They don't know her past.
Very interesting.
So I'm very curious to see what the chat, thought about that decision and a missed opportunity for a story arc. And I do want to acknowledge some folks that have come in while I was talking very much. The Fanboys channel.
Hooray.
Yeah. Here's a good friend. Bronze Age Brian is here. Make sure to check out his channel too. He's been doing these awesome tours of tours of comic book stores. So here we have Crazy Ivan. Good guy. You are in the chat. I will acknowledge you.
Hooray. Thank you.
Yeah. Here we have a question, Just a Nerd saying, I'm not even going to question how a child can pilot an aircraft. I guess that supposed to go back to Amazon training.
Amazon training. Yeah. They had jets in the Amazon.
Well, she was training herself to one day take over that role and become Wonder Woman, so that's one of the things that you would need to know. Look at that. You have anything to comment on that statement, Tony?
No.
Glitter Lord is here. All hail Glitter Lord.
Yes.
Oh snap, the kids took the keys to the whip and went joyriding. Yep, you can say that. Brian saying if Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman can will a jet to be invisible, then I guess kids can fly the original invisible jet. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, and then Brian adding in, too, good thing Infinite Frontier fixed all this stuff. Yes. So all of this, because of Infinite Frontier, is continuity somewhere. But like I said, I still think that even for them right now, this is a storyline because I don't think it was ever dealt with. How would she feel knowing that he made that decision for her? I mean, that's I don't know. I think it's a story though.
It's at least worth exploring.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe someday they'll talk about it. Maybe somebody at DC will remember. Oh yeah, that's right. We set that up, and fix it.
Yeah. So, did you ever read Infinity Inc., or were you a fan of that title? Have you ever read it? Or
I read some, but the only time I really got into it was in Convergence, because they had two different iterations of Infinity Inc. kind of fighting each other.
Yep.
Which was pretty cool. And who was the artist in that? Mark Bergman, I think. I got him to sign some, which is kind of cool. So I do have some Infinity Inc. signed, but not much.
I recently, like last year, or it might have been last year, if not the year before, completed my Infinity Inc. run of the original run. And I've been rereading a lot of that in the last year or so and really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
One thing I wanted to ask you too, and I want to show a few examples of this too. You have pages like this where you see that Todd McFarlane has almost put like little mini splashes that aren't connected to the story. What's your opinion of this?
I like it. I don't know if my opinion's going to be the more popular one, but I like it because there's a lot going on, and that's what I like. I like a lot going on because it, nowadays when you look at modern books, it seems like every other page is a splash page with, great art, but not a lot of like storytelling. And especially the old school ones, there's a lot of storytelling. So I like it. I like the detail and the characters that might not necessarily get a lot of exposure. So I'm a big fan of that. You have a train coming there?
Yeah, I did. So I was trying to mute it the best I can. I guess you heard a little bit of it.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, keep talking, Tony. So
yeah. Unfortunately, I lost my train of thought.
Train of thought.
Pun intended.
Yeah. I like it too. It's different. I don't think that your page has to be just broken down panels. And this is creative. This is very early Todd McFarlane.
I like it, yeah.
I mean, he had been on Infinity Inc., about a dozen issues by the time that he did this one. And I think Infinity Inc. was I don't think it was his very first DC work, but it might have been his first DC series that he did on a regular basis.
His first reoccurring series.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. And he essentially got it because he started out as a fill-in artist for like 2 issues, and DC liked his work and the fans were very receptive to it too. And then it just so happened that like an issue or 2 later, the regular penciler left for whatever reason and they brought him in. So.
And then Spawn.
We
go from Infinity Inc. to Spawn.
Yeah. The first 10 issues of Infinity Inc. is a really good storyline though, that I really highly recommend to everyone. I like the series overall, but those first 10 issues where the team essentially is forming, the kids of the Justice Society, and the JSA has essentially gone evil, and they've got to stop them.
Right. And
it's a pretty good story, and there's some amazing covers too.
Right. Yeah. I like that the old school stuff. Some of the early Todd McFarlane's. It's great to see some of the early work, especially big Todd McFarlane fans. There's always some kind of signing going on if you're a big CGC guy. But do you think Todd McFarlane's going to go down? If there was a comic book Hall of Fame, would Todd McFarlane be in the first, class, so to speak?
I wouldn't say the first tier. I mean, he has a place in there somewhere.
Okay.
It wouldn't be, it wouldn't probably be my first couple tiers that I would think of, but I do think he has a place. Just despite, he's one of the more modernish artists that probably has more controversy, I think, than anyone else. There's people that don't like the way he draws feet, and I understand why. I've looked at him, I get it. His art back here, but of course back at this time too, art was done a lot differently than art was done even in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And this book's only 86. So in the 90s, a lot of things changed, and his art evolved too. I myself preferred a little but I just prefer this era and this style. This is me. That's what I gravitate to.
86. What was going on in 1986?
Crisis just finished up, and the books were being rebooted. Like Superman was being done by John Byrne, and Wonder Woman was done by Perez, where she was just coming to man's world for the first time. So
I also was not even born yet. So there's that. The world wasn't that good yet. It was a little while away.
I'm going to highlight whatever comment Christy is typing in right now. I know there's something being typed in, and it's going to get highlighted regardless. So.
Sure. I'm sure there's some kind of rebuttal.
Yeah. But.
Yeah, what do you got for a book show, man? Anything cool?
Yeah. What I decided to do, because a lot of times when I'm doing comic book editions on my channel, I am showing my back issues, because I figure everyone has seen the new stuff. They've seen it on everyone else's channel gazillion times, and I don't buy a lot of new stuff. But I decided to show something that is new, that was a recent addition. I was just going to buy the A cover of this title, this issue. That was it. And of course, a 1 in 25 variant comes out, and I said, I have to have this, even though I'm only buying the A cover. And going forward, I'll only buy one cover. But I got the Yara Flor Wonder Girl, #1, the 1 in 25 variant, which was done by J. Scott Campbell. But when you have Hippolyta, Diana, Donna Troy, and Cassie all in the background too,
that is cool.
How can I not get this? So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is a really cool cover.
Yeah, we have some comments coming in. Brian saying, thanks for reminding me I was a freshman in high school when you were born.
I didn't come around until the later half of 87, so.
It looks like you have a meeting after the stream wraps up to attend to.
We'll see.
So that's mine. Do you have something picked out for a book show?
Got a couple things.
Yeah.
I decided for book show, I'm going to go with, what screen is it? Keeping in the theme of magic or mystical, I'm going to show off my DC Rebirth Vixen one-shot when she was she was joining the Justice League of America. Signed by Steve Orlando. Steve Orlando is a total cool dude, and he signed all my books for like $2 or $3, and he signed my whole stack, which is kind of cool, including all these single issues, like one shots of all the characters joining Justice League of America. Each one kind of got their own little standalone. We have Vixen, we have the Atom, we have the Ray, we have Killer Frost, Lobo, which was kind of awesome. But this one is unique, and Vixen, I think, is a great character. I really dig the actress that played her in the CW, like the Arrow CW, not the Legends of Tomorrow CW, which is still cool, but I prefer the young lady who was on the Arrow versus the current iteration. But as other cool stuff that I have to show, and I just I knew about this for a while, and I didn't really do anything about it, but apparently there's a market for old comic book promo posters, and that's what I've been doing. I've been framing some of my posters here, like this Joker War. Wow. And I'm not talking about the posters you buy at like Walmart or something. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the ones that get mailed from DC or Marvel that promote an upcoming book or a series or something.
The ones you might see at a comic book store in their window that are not for sale.
Right. And what my LCS does is they just kind of give them to me, which is kind of cool. And I've had a stack for a really long time, and I never knew what to do with them. I usually hand them out to AOKs and stuff. I gave a bunch away to like Russ and whatnot. But I decided, you know what? Michaels was having a good sale on frames, like buy one, get one free. I decided to get a whole bunch of frames. and they're actually really cool. Some of them go for a pretty penny on eBay. And one of the more popular ones that I have that is in the higher value right now is this big crossover poster. I know it's not DC related, but well, kind
That's
of.
Nice.
There's DC in it, but we got crossover. And this one was kind of unique. This one was a promo poster, but not in the way that you would think, because it's more wide than it is long. It is the DC Comics Rock the Vote kind of poster.
Oh, yeah.
And it just talks about like the history of voting and why it's important. Kind of politically, kind of like you can tell it's pushing an agenda, but that's okay. It's still cool. Of course, everyone should vote. I'm not trying to say that, but it's like, come on, you're not even trying to hide it. Which is kind of awesome. I got, speaking of magic.
Wow.
Constantine the Hellblazer.
See, I love posters too that are unusual sizes, and that's like a what they call a door poster, I think.
Yeah, you're right. It is called a door poster.
Mm-hmm.
This one's awesome, but the problem is, this one was kind of an experiment that kind of failed because I don't know if you're going to be able to tell it on the back of the poster. See, where is it? Where's my hand? It's on this side. See, like right here, there's this white line going down.
Yeah. The
poster itself is like a quarter of an inch too wide for this frame.
Oh, gotcha.
And this frame is advertised for like being 4 doors, but and when I measured it, it fit perfectly. Maybe this particular poster was just cut weird, but luckily all the good information is there. I think I've got one of my favorites that we did. Suicide Squad, the Tom Taylor run.
And that looks so sharp in that white frame.
Yeah, I know. I was really I was going to get all the black ones, but they didn't have any more black ones. All I had was a couple of black ones and some whites. But I did manage to get this. You're right. This one looks sharp in white. So if you're ever at your LCS and they're, trying to give away these promo posters, and the folds don't really count because that's how they get shipped.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And I know there's a big market for these promo posters. And you can actually get these graded and slabbed. I didn't know.
I had no idea.
I know. I think CGC does it. Or at least they're starting to. I know they've done like the band posters, but they're starting to do promo posters for comic books. So that's kind of cool. I might send 1 or 2 off just for fun. And I thought that was really neat that the fold does not take away from the grade. Now, if there's like a tear in it, then that might be a little bit different. And it's hardly on Bernatoni. You know what? I would, but it's Suicide Squad, and I really like the Suicide Squad. So it's unfortunate that Harley's in it. So that's we'll see. But the one I have some more that I'm gonna get graded. I have this giant. I don't want to unfold it, but I have a giant Future State poster.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I have. If you're really into DC horror, I have this one that this one's kind of different because that's another door poster. This is the DC Byrne.
Yeah,
kind of
Daphne Byrne.
Yeah. But there's one that's like, you want to talk about different shaped posters. Check this bad boy out. It is a door poster, but it is like 4 times as long as anything else.
Oh, wow.
It's taller than I am. It is huge. It is really long. And they're advertising, what is it? I can't read it. Firepower. Yeah. So this is a unique thing, but check with your LCS, see if they're going to give out some posters. Maybe not so much anymore because people are starting to catch on that there's a market behind it.
Yeah.
Got a big New 52 Batman Year Zero poster.
Oh, cool.
The common size is 24 by 36.
Yep.
If any of you are interested. And if you're ever at a craft store or something and they have frames on sale, check it out. But yeah, that is my neat little semi-cool little book show.
Oh, I like it. So it looks like you've inspired Nosh Head as well. He had some posters and kind of stopped, but it looks like he's going to go back to picking some up. So that's cool.
Yeah, there was one on eBay that was very recent, and I forget which one it was, and it was going for like $100, and it was in what you would expect shape. It wasn't in great shape, and people were actively bidding on it. It wasn't like a buy it now.
Yeah,
I'm going to list it for $1 million and hopefully someone will buy it. But no, people were bidding on it, and it was up to $100 already.
I'd hold on to that one, Nosh, because people are. If that takes off the way that people predict it will, that's an item that people will be interested in the future.
And I'm going to try to get I'm going to try to get some of these posters signed.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Just for fun. And I did frame the.
Nosh is adding too that you can get posters cleaned and pressed just like a comic book.
Yes, you can.
Wow, I had no idea.
So if you remember last time I was on the show, I showed off this poster, and I thought it looks pretty good in this white frame too. So I managed to get this Dark Knight's metal map in a frame too. So that's kind of like my other long-term project I'm working on.
Cool.
In the comic book related world. But yeah, posters, man. Not the Walmart posters. Walmart posters.
Yeehaw, FNG collector. Thank you for stopping in. I always give him a yeehaw.
Yeehaw, indeed. Yep. He's been putting out some cool stuff too lately.
Yeah, I like Mike. He's a good guy. Yeah, I love posters. Posters are a weakness of mine. I have more posters than I'll ever have wall space for. But I would rather have more and be able to choose than the other way around.
I think eventually I'm gonna have to get one of those like you see at Walmart, like the big stand that has like the books.
And you just flip through them. Yeah. Like a little accordion rack kind of one.
I'm gonna have to get one of those someday. But I agree. I'm in the same boat. I have way more posters than I have space for. But then again, I'm right now. I'm touching both of my walls, so it's like really narrow in here.
Yeah,
and it's I think it's like 12 feet long, so it's a narrow room. But who knows? Maybe someday I can get a bigger space and put all that stuff on the wall. But posters are cool. Now I have something to do with these posters. I'm going to continue doing that and watch out for these cool frame sales. So I encourage. Looks like you got a lot of space behind you. Could use a poster or two.
Yeah, it definitely could. So we'll work on that. I've got the promo poster that they did in '87 for the Perez Wonder Woman relaunch. Now it's not as big as 24 by 36. It's kind of an odd size, but it's still cool to have. And it looks like the wraparound cover to issue #1.
Very cool. In my research for posters, I came across movie posters. You want to talk about some high dollar posters? If it hung in a movie theater, it's worth a lot more. But there's some movies that are just the poster for that movie is just insanely high value. The original Avengers movie goes for thousands if it hung in a theater.
Wow.
Thousands, which is
of course
insane.
I'm not going to say who, but we definitely have a movie connection in this YouTube comic book community. So who has been kind enough to A-OK some of those my direction. So someone who's kind of been in the chat here tonight. So
very
just
cool.
saying.
Yeah.
If you don't know who that is, you all just have to do your own detective work on that one.
I like free stuff.
Yep. Nosh is saying that he has Venom, Crossover, Nice House on the Lake, and some Firepower, and a lot of them. That's cool.
Yeah. If there's a Michael's Craft Store near you, Nosh, head over there because they were doing a buy one frame, get one frame for free. So you can save a lot of money. And they have some great frames too. And they're not cheap frames. I mean, they're cheap in terms of the value I paid for them, but I mean, like
they're
quality wise, they're not
cheap in terms of quality. Yeah.
So head over there, and if you can find some, that'd be great. So I've been really enjoying this cool long-term poster project, and I started to on the back, just in case something happens to me, I started putting labels on it, what the name of the comic was, and when it came out on the back of the poster, which is kind of cool. So that way, like I said, if something happens and my family has to sell it. So there we go.
Yeah.
You just sold a poster and made bank. Yeah. Right.
Very cool.
That old, if you ever go to like all movie theaters, but like some of them like AMC's and Flagship and some of the bigger cinemas, they have all these giant displays of cool movies and stuff coming out. They actually end up on a website, and you can just buy them, which is cool. Yeah, they're a little expensive. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But it depends on the movie, the success of the movie, how popular it was. Like I said, Avengers is just any of that Avengers stuff is thousands of dollars.
Wow.
I found an original, if you remember the Pokemon movie that came out, the original Pokemon movie without Ryan Reynolds, the 36 by 24 movie poster, you can get it for like $15 and it's in pretty good shape. And if you buy posters from them, they have like different framing options. I would just frame it yourself and save some cash, but posters are going to be like the next cool thing, maybe. Who knows? So you heard it here, folks.
I think anything that you can't buy, anything promo is always more desirable because you can't buy it. So,
yeah. And keep in mind, it's promo posters, not Walmart posters.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's pretty awesome. So,
yeah, Nosh brought up a good point when LCSs put tape on them.
Yeah.
My LCS will put up like the top 3 big books. They'll put those posters up, but the rest just get put in a giant stack. You can sort through them.
I have to tell you something that's so awesome about my LCS. And once again, this goes back to developing a relationship with your LCS. And my relationship has been developed for decades with an S at the end. They get several of the same promo posters usually because they have a subscription service as well. So, and that is separate from their retail, but they still get promo posters that go to the subscription place, even though that's not open to the public. So they send them over to the store too. So the store has usually a few of whatever poster. There has been many times that there's been a Wonder Woman one that is in my pull box before I even know that the promo poster exists. And they still have one up in the store, but they took the extra one, didn't even ask, just said, he will love this, and put it in my subscription box. That's a great LCS.
You're absolutely right. And that's happened to me a couple of times. That's where I got the Suicide Squad one and the Joker War one. And had I known, I've given so many posters away. It's not even real, like some really good posters.
Yeah.
Especially when I was working at a hospital, I was giving a lot of kid-friendly ones away to some of the kids. But, now some of the ones I gave away, I remember, and I go back and I look for them. Like they're not like thousands, but $50, $70 a piece.
It adds up.
It does add up, and there's some really good books I wish I had $50 extra for.
Yeah.
Would have definitely made me happy. But hey, lesson learned. So if you're cool with your LCS, check with them. Maybe they'll give you some promo posters. Hold on to them because they're going up slowly in value. So who knows?
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing for us. That was very interesting. So yeah. So I've got a giveaway coming to my channel.
That's right. Talk about your giveaway. That is cool. Let's hear it.
Yes. So we are doing Christmas in July. So obviously on July 1st is when this starts. But if you go back to, Metarog biweekly does a contest roundup video. So he pretty much broke the news on his channel on how the contest is going to run on this past Thursday's video. And I'm sure he'll mention it throughout the videos he does in July. But if you go to Metarog's video, you're going to get a special clue that's going to help you out to possibly get more entries. So essentially, here's what's going to happen, okay? The contest is going to run like this. I'm celebrating Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary this year, which is going on. And tell me your favorite Wonder Woman comic book cover. So just be specific so I know. You don't have to own the book, just your favorite cover. But if it's a Justice League cover, make sure I know what volume it is. And because I want to be able to find this cover. There's a reason why I need you to be specific, just as long as I can find it. Now, someone might say, well, is this it? Well, no, she's Wonder Girl. But if you show me a future state where she's called Wonder Woman, I'll accept it. You know, if Artemis is your favorite Wonder Woman, as long as she's Wonder Woman, that's cool. If it's Hippolyta, as long as she's Wonder Woman on that cover. So tell me your favorite Wonder Woman cover. You're going to get an entry just for doing that. Take a guess what you think my favorite Wonder Woman cover is. If you do that, you're going to get another entry. That clue that is on Metarog's channel will help you figure out what my favorite cover is. And you only can get that clue on Metarog's cover, Metarog's video rather. If for some reason you match correctly what my favorite Wonder Woman cover is, I'll increase 3 more, so you'll end up with 5 entries into
I know which one it is.
You do not.
I do, and I have it. Here we go. Continue. It might take me a minute.
Okay. So you can get up to 5 entries. There's 12 prizes. Everything is superhero / Christmas / comic themed. We've got comic books, of course, that are Christmas themed. We have a Funko Pop that is superhero and Christmas. We have a huge vintage vinyl album that's still sealed that will be part of the prize. There'll be, of course, a Christmas stocking. There'll be a Christmas ornament. There'll be a Santa hat. So all 12 of these prizes will go to one person. The contest will run the entire month of July, with the video dropping midnight, 12:01 a.m. Central Standard Time, July 1st, and running through 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, July 31st. So check out Metarog's video to get you a clue. Start thinking about what your favorite cover is or what my favorite cover might be. And then July 1st will be ready to enter. And of course, you must be subscribed to my channel as well. But the video will have all the full contest rules in it. So I'm excited to do another giveaway. It's always nice to give back to the community that has been so kind to me. So
I couldn't find it. I was gonna be a smart aleck and pull out the Wonder Woman blank cover.
Oh, the blank, yeah. It could be whatever, you know?
Yeah, right. I can't lose.
You know what? If that's your guess, you put that in that comment section. I will not confirm nor deny it. So, but I will say, watching Metarog doesn't know what it is. You know, he has no information that no one else that watches his video that gets the clue. And when he saw the clue, he said, I think I know what it is now. But I don't know if he's right or not, you know, but he said the clue helped him. So we'll see.
Interesting. That don't forget about the grand prize, which is if you win, you get an evening dinner. Comic Fu will take you out to dinner and a movie. Yes,
at his expense.
At his expense.
And then you can sit on his lap and tell him what you want for Christmas.
Yes, for sure. So get those entries in. There goes
getting any entries to that contest before we launched.
Yeah, shot.
It was a good idea while it lasted.
Right.
So, but yeah, that will be coming up on my channel too. Hoping to launch a new series on my channel. I'm hoping to launch that this upcoming week as well. That's the plan. I've got some more comic book edition videos that I'll be dropping this month too. We've got a few AOKs to videos that will be dropping this month on the channel too. It's going to be a busy month on my channel, but I'm really happy about that. And I'm planning on trying to guest star as many places that will have me so I can talk about the giveaway and the contest too. So hopefully you'll be seeing this face a lot in the month of July.
Yeah, very excited for it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good content on your channel. It's definitely undervalued. I know you're getting close to 500.
Yeah, very close. You know how, and who doesn't, Flashpoint? Who doesn't? So you know how YouTube sometimes it likes to hold some of your subscribers. They'll take your subscriber count and move it back and hold them because they got to make sure that they're not bots or anything, you know, and then they'll give them back to you.
Right.
That's kind of the scenario. I've been at 488 for so long, even though I know my numbers are a lot higher. My numbers are actually pretty close to 500. I'm pretty sure of it, but they've just yanked some back because I've gotten so many so fast that they're scared that they're bots. So I'm patiently waiting. I usually don't get too crazy over my subscriber number, but when I get to a milestone like this, I just get excited and I want to hit 500. Someone told me too that you get an email from YouTube when you hit 500, congratulating you.
I mean, that would be cool, but
that's what I've heard. So
I'm at 450. I'm getting slowly.
Sub wherever he's at. Sub that guy
somewhere
up.
Over here.
Somewhere, I don't know. There, sub him up.
I'm at 4. I think I'm a little over 450 because on the YouTube Studio app I look, and it was in the last 30 days I'm plus 6 subscribers, but my number hasn't changed.
Yeah. That's where I'm at too.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They kind of hold them back. I've been at 488 for so long, even though one day I saw it actually go to 489, then it went back to 488. But there's so many pluses that it's got to be like, if I had to guess, I think it's 494 or 495 or 496, somewhere in there is what I think it really is.
And as soon as you get closer to 400 or 500, Comic Fu will start to subscribe and then unsubscribe and then subscribe. And
but with my luck, he'll forget to resubscribe. So I'll just be down and I'll be like, dude, I watched your commercials all the way through so you can get half of a cent.
Right.
And you unsubscribe to my channel.
I gave you a nickel last year.
And I'm always giving you my 2 cents.
Oh. So Too funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, 500! You got to do something special other than just a giveaway. That's a big milestone. It might not seem
Should
like
I do a
big,
little shake and dance, or
yeah, right. You dance seductively, and we'll raise money for you to stop.
Yeah, there we go.
Everybody wins. You pick a charity, we'll raise the money. Right. It'll be a good time for sure. Yeah, but that's fun, man.
Yeah, you have anything planned for your channel? Anything going on? I know you're sporadic with your videos.
I'm very sporadic, but COVID starting to die down. I'm slowly starting to get a little bit of time back, which is good. So, I mean, I have a lot of ideas that I want to do, but doing the idea is a little bit different. Now I actually have to do it. But in terms of cool stuff, I'll tease it here. If you remember, you and I have a project we're working on.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to do anything more. So it's slow. And there is a popular artist, not in the YouTube, not in the comic book community, that is going to hook us up with some free art. And it's good. I saw some of the rough drafts. It's good.
Awesome.
Very good.
Hey, Nosh, all of that information to enter the contest will be released at midnight Central Standard Time on July 1st. So this upcoming weekend, all of the entries need to be on that July 1st video when it drops. As for right now, if you want the clue, so you'll be ready for that July 1st video drop, you can head to Metarog's channel, METAROG, and look for his Thursday contest roundup. He does it every other Thursday. And this last Thursday, he did a contest roundup where he gives the clue. And I'm sure he'll give the clue again in the videos he does during the month of July, but that'll get you the clue. And then you can make your official entry when the video goes live on July 1st.
And he's a good member of the community. I think we're very lucky to have him in our community.
Oh my God, he is a treasure. That guy is just, and he's so kind and he's so knowledgeable, and
he's known as the god of knowledge on this show.
And deservedly so.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, if you don't know Metarog, his name's Roger. Go check him out. Amazing guy.
That guy needs to have at least 10,000 subscribers by now.
Absolutely, he deserves it.
Whatever he's at right now, it's way too low.
There's not enough great things that could happen to Roger. That I mean, no matter how many great things happen, still more need to happen from just the type of person he is. So
yeah,
mad love for that guy. He's so awesome.
We need at least 5 more Metarogs in our community.
Oh my God! If I could only be a fifth of what he is as a person, I would feel successful. So
yeah, he does a lot to, he does his weekly or monthly, I forget. I think it's kind of sporadic, but I think it is weekly. The weekly roundup, the contests. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's huge. Because
and Graders Notes. He does Graders Notes.
He does Graders Notes.
And Graders Notes is a great show.
It is a great show. Yeah, he does a lot. And you're right. There isn't enough things that we could say nice about him. We'd be here for a week at least live streaming
exactly.
nonstop.
Yeah, nonstop. So it's awesome. We love you, Roger. If you're watching on the rewind,
Yes.
I know that he's been moving this weekend. So
I saw his Instagram page. He's getting a new little
Christy, that's Metarog. Metarog. She had asked me to spell his name again. So
perfect. Yeah. Any subs we can do to him, for sure.
Yeah. So sub Tony up if for some reason you haven't subbed him up. If you haven't subbed me up, please help me get to that 500 and sub me up.
And sub each other up.
Yep. Sub up our other fanboys as well, including Tim the Comic Collector, Flashpoint Comics, and Comic Fu 2814. And by the way, I know for the longest time, it was always so hard to find Flashpoint Comics channel. He has gotten that easy URL from YouTube now. So it's youtube.com/C/Flashpoint Comics. So he's much easier to find now. And by the way, the links to all of these channels, I'll have to add Metarog in afterwards, are in the description for this video.
Yes. Everyone deserves a sub. And I know there's a lot of people trying to push to a specific number. I know you're one of them, getting to 500. Maybe I'll start pushing once I get a little bit closer, but for now, I'll figure it out.
For now, he's chilling like a villain.
Crazy Ivan says, "Don't sub me unless you want to."
Everyone sub up Crazy Ivan 512. Let's get him to 500 before me.
512. That way, his name is appropriate.
Yeah, get him to 512.
Sub more.
No, after that,
just let it be.
Yeah, leave that alone.
But next week is 4th of July.
Yes. So
important
boom. No show.
Yes, we are all going to be enjoying the holiday with our friends and family. I know we just bought some cool fireworks today. Nothing extreme. This is my little one's first kind of 4th of July that she can, remember. And we got her like the little ones where you just kind of throw them and they pop. Oh, she
snaps. Aren't those called snaps?
Yeah, she had an absolute blast with those. So we picked up a whole bunch of those.
Yeah, I see. As a child, after getting burned in a blister from a sparkler, no more sparklers. Didn't want them at all. But I love the snaps.
I like
those are great.
Bottle rockets are my favorite. Not like the big artillery. I just like the bottle rockets. I like the bottle rockets.
Good. So what Tony is saying is there is no show next Sunday night.
Yes,
because of 4th of July.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying.
But the following week, who knows? Maybe some of the
returning fanboys
will have an epic return in this crazy series. Because I know I can attest they've been picking up some hot books, and I'm sure they are itching to show them off.
I would be if I was them. So
which would be cool. And I'll be able to hang out with Comic Fu here shortly again. On his way out of town, he's swinging by. We're gonna hit up an LCS or two.
It's cool. Snakes. I like the snakes too.
Snakes are cool. Tanks are some of my favorites. I don't really remember a whole lot of fireworks. I don't know, but we'll see. But definitely, everybody enjoy the holiday with your family.
Yeah.
Throw a couple of dogs on the grill and don't be blowing off any of your fingers.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not good.
Let the neighbors blow their own fingers off.
Yeah. Nosh, are you needing Metarog's name or the link? If so, I'll send that to you either in a DM or I'll add it after this video is over to the description. So if you can check back too. You have anything to say about swords?
Oh yeah, we were buying fireworks today, and they have these swords, these giant swords that are sparklers for adults, and it's like a sword.
Really?
So I'm very curious to how that's going to work out.
If someone else got one, can you do like a sparkler sword fight? Or
I'm going to try. We bought a couple, so we'll do something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah,
so channel my inner Luke Skywalker, hopefully.
Nice.
If it'll look nice, but we'll see. I think that's it for me, man.
Yeah, and I'll post a nice patriotic Wonder Woman cover on Instagram next Sunday for 4th of July.
Oh, so yeah.
I know which one I'm going to do. I'm going to show the original, then I'm going to show the homage to it.
I definitely can think of a cool couple patriotic covers that post. I'm thinking about it, but that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah. So check our Instagrams too. Thank you everyone for spending time with us tonight. Your time is never taken for granted by us. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here for our Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. Tony, have yourself a great week, and show next week, and we will see you the week after.
Enjoy the holiday, everybody.